Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today I have a 6v6 ladder match on the map Untainted Paradise. Let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Team 1 in the top right corner, northeast corner. We have in blue Cascade as a Cybran going first land. To his northeast, we have Sai Zolin. I think I pronounced that kind of close. I'll call him Zai or Sai for this map. He's going Cybern as well. First air in light green. In gray, we have OGWPR Outbreak. That's a mouthful. Going first land as a Seraphim. In this valley section over here to the east, we have Budweiser Bliss in tan going first air as well as a Cybran. We have on the beach, we have Jutta HX going Seraphim going first land in light blue. I guess this is blue, light blue, or blue, dark blue, however we want to clarify that. And then finally for Team 1, we have Moot Sewell going Seraphim, first land, second air in purple. That is the players for Team 1 in the northeast section. Down to their counterparts down here as Team 2, we have Noob Dragoon going first land, second air as an Aeon in yellow. Further south to him in the beach slot, we have Maresco as a Seraphim going first land in white. In this valley section, we have Buttons in light purple going first air as an Aeon. In teal, we have T1000. They have been featured on the channel before, going first land, second air as a Seraphim. To the east, we have, oh, he's already been moving. We have Willow Wisp Psy going, gotta just make my life a little harder. In Crimson, as an Aeon, as I said, first land, looking like going for this expansion slots over here to the east. And then finally, for Team 2, we have Babel. Hopefully he doesn't fall like the Tower of Babel. Going first land, second air in red as a UEF. So that is the players for this matchup. We have early air scouts for Team 1 getting a good readout on their enemies. We have two major side islands as well as some smaller islands with some mexes. I do like the design. It kind of gives a very smooth, very like refined look to the map with all of this beach. It looks kind of like some Arabic writing, these kind of like curved sections of the map. The shortest distance between the two bases are here, so we gotta watch out for naval game in the middle of the map. Pretty much the main avenue of attack for Navy, unless we get some Seraphim destroyers to walk over these land sections over here. Reclaim on this map. There's a decent amount of reclaim on these tips, as well as some reclaim on the smaller islands. But again, not a whole lot, so the focus will be mainly on upgrading mexes and going for that way. Like I said, again, the mid is going to play a big player in this game. You can get T1 spam in the form of any floating units, but not every faction has access to those at the T1 stage, so we will see what our players come up with. We have a bomber out in the form of a shimmer from the likes of Team 2. Let's see if they're able to do anything with this bomber, and also some transports to get the early mass extractors going in their favor. It is being escorted by some interceptors. Good to see some team unity going down here in this northwest section. Looks like they're going for the early expansion for Team 1 in the form of size units and structures. Again, I do apologize if you're watching, Sai. I don't know how to pronounce the rest of your name, so you could, if you do watch the cast, please comment down below and kind of give me an idea of how to say it. If I cast you again, I would like to say it correctly, and that goes for everyone. If I do end up saying someone's name incorrectly, please again correct me down in the comments. I would much rather say and hear, hey, you said my name wrong. Say it this way. Great, thank you. I always want to be watching out for my fellow players in FAF. Again, that bomber was shot down. Not a whole lot ended up happening, unfortunately, for Team 2. Lots of interceptors in this corner. They could have easily intercepted the interceptors, but it doesn't look like they were on the ball for that encounter. Early subs going out for both teams. Naval production starting to be in full swing. I wouldn't be surprised if most, if not every player in the game has some sort of factory. I've been casting a lot of water games for the most part. There are a few matches where there's no water to speak of, but Navy is such an interesting aspect of the game because it does take a lot of mass, takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of time, and it's depending on the army and faction you're using, depends on how much micro you need to have for it. So, I mean, the skill range is pretty huge with Navy versus just air, which is just build up to T3, build a bunch of ASFs, and then hopefully counter anything the enemy has. But early aggression going down in the mid. We have 2 subs for both players, kind of just peppering shots against one another. No units have died in the middle as of yet, at least not that I can see. We have early aggression over here on the northwest section from this sub, but the attack sub out from the yellow player of Noob Dragoon got that early damage down, which means they have the advantage and does not elect to pursue, so that sub will fight another day. We have a drop coming down in the form of some T1 artillery. I'm interested to see if this play will actually make it all the way. It is pinged by the enemy players, I would assume, given the attack command ping. We do have some air scouts coming in to help assist with that potential target. Interceptors do come in, dealing initial damage, dropping it down in the yellow, and the artillery does drop short of the beach, and I don't think that these units will be long for this world. And the subs, I guess this, oh, the subs can attack the units because they're not actually in the water, so you see that floating action going down. Very, very useful to not have some damage on, but we do have a frigate inbound, so that will probably wrap that attempted drop down. We also have some action going down in the southeast section. I mean, attempted walking along the water, kind of working, but again get stopped by this roving band of T1 units. That drop did get onto land, surprisingly. Those frigates did not prevent any incursions, but only one remains. And will it take that T2? No, it does not. So no economic damage has been achieved for Team 1 in that. Maybe drop this. Probably talking about dropping down another T1 artillery. Yep, that is exactly what that is. And they're like, nope, we're good. We're going to go the other way. They get spotted pretty much by the calm of Babel, so, or Babel. Babel? I think it's Babel. Anyway. Good shots from this interceptor. Will have to turn around, but it has lost about half its hit points. It does continue on. It was about to drop and decided, nah, I'm good. We have 2 interceptors in tow. This is not going to get very far. Let's see, do they take out it? Yes, they do. It should have just dropped on that island. And all of those units visit their watery grave. D3 air has been achieved for Team 1. They have an air scout, again, switching up the unit names, a spy plane in the form of a spook. Are they gonna switch to ASF production? I would assume. Yep. At least I think that's an ASF. What's an ASF? T3 power on the way. Do we have an answer to that T3 air? Only have T1 air. T1 air. Wait, yeah, T1 air. T2 air. So, I mean, not that far behind. But like I said, no T3 air has been achieved for Team 2. So that might be an early sign of them on the back foot. Not unrecoverable, of course, because a lot of teams come back from not having T3 air first. But again, having that early advantage, they could get strap bomber out, which is actually, that's what that building is now. That is a strap bomber, not an ASF, which is a good move because there is no T3 air. Huge land incursion possible going down from Team 1 onto the beach. Looks like they're going a little more northward to avoid all these interceptors over here. I don't know where they're going with this, because they're going to try to go for the production yards? I mean, you would assume so, but... Ooh, they fly right by. One transport down. Oh, 2 transports down. And boom, all 3 transports are down. No units were successfully dropped. That is a loss for Team 1. They want some PD here. Oh, just in case somebody drops, I'm assuming. That strap bomber has been completed and is on its way to find its first target. It does get spotted by these Team 1 naval units, and it does get pinged by Team 2, so I don't think that is going to survive for very long. The comm of Babel has gone under the water to hide. Probably a very sensible move. I wonder where this is going. It's going straight for the middle of these mass extractors. Good tip, if you're not super familiar, you can actually ground fire them and drop the bomb in a specific location. That's a bad turn. Oh, those are some severe bad turns. Lots of damage going down onto those strap bomber. Does see a nice juicy target down here in the south. Is it going for the power generator? It does. Takes out power generator and a decent amount of build power. So that is a huge loss for Babel's infrastructure and resourcing options. That strap bomber might get one more out. It's making a turn. Is it going back? It doesn't get one off and dies, leaving 1100 mass. So, I mean, it did get more damage or more mass killed than it left behind, but gonna be more effective. We missed another one up here. They had a second one. That's a good move, distracting your opponent long enough to get more damage done. So I definitely say the combination of both strats is a very good move. Taking out a lot of resourcing options for a lot of players. Doesn't get that T3, but is able to take out at least another T2. Goes in for another bomb. Looks like it... Oh, it didn't drop bomb onto that power generator. That would have been a really good move. Dropping more bombs. Taking out 2 more extractors. Man, they just can't catch up to this mass extractor. Going again to the base of Will-O-Wisp. Getting massive amounts of veterancy as well as damage down. 10k mass killed. That's very good. Oh, those interceptors are starting to eke out the rest of the damage. Let's see. Is it going to be able to drop one more bomb? 400 hit points. It does. Going after 2 more mass extractors. That's another T2. 2 T2. And with that turn, I think that's the death of that strap bomber. It is, and it goes down into the cliffside. Oh, look, there's another strap bomber. Man, all the strap bombers just came. Jeez. The economic damage coming out from Budweiser Bliss is just massive for Team 1. Strap bomber after strap bomber. I can't even, like, go see what else is going... Oh, that one died a lot quicker. 3 strap bombers did a huge amount of economic damage. Again, the third one wasn't as good, but I mean, the combination of all three did exceptionally well. I think the only one that was not affected in terms of mass was T-1000. He's probably thanking the subcom gods that he was not the target of any of those bombs. Push out from Team 1 onto these shipyards. We do have naval factories here. T2 naval factory online for Dragoon. We will see if these guys end up pushing forward or decide to back off. They could easily take out at least the build power and maybe at least the T2 factory. That'd be worth the loss of these naval units for sure, halting the chances of Team 2 to get into a strong naval position in this northern section. Team 1 not electing to do the same strat. I guess they did, and then they got destroyed, so never mind. Large naval army, fleet, I should say, not army, in the middle for Team 2. Looks like the only fleet that could really contend with it is currently busy, and they are retreating, probably due to this incoming force coming to support. Cruisers and destroyers are becoming more proliferant around the map. So anti-air and missiles is definitely going to be a thing for both of our teams to start watching out for. These laser weapons very effective at hitting their marks, like I've said in other casts before. But the damage from these Exodus class are definitely nothing to be trifled with. They are slower firing, but they deal more damage, and they have AoE damage as well, making them very effective at killing grouped up units. And again, if you're going against cruisers, you need to make sure you keep your units moving, because those cruise missiles definitely pack the punch and fire very quickly. T2 destroyer being swarmed and outflanked, and it just gets eaten up by that red naval force out for Team 2. Team 2 has pretty much secured the bottom section of the map. Looking about probably a 60-40 split right now. But they are electing to move around instead of going through this section of the channel, map, pond. It's like all interconnected. Cove, I guess cove would be the correct word for this. I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves in my day, if you know what game that is. It was fun, but kind of just got too grindy at one point and just kind of just stopped. Anyway, destroyer going down for Team 1. Oh, but the shots miss. See, that's the downside of these Exodus class. They don't have those beam weapons, so they're not pretty much always on target. But it dies anyway, and they can divert their attention to other matters. Another destroyer online. These Exodus class still alive and are able to take out that destroyer. More naval pressure. Wow, look at that. T1 frigate spam coming out from Team 2. A combined push from multiple players. Good to see that cooperation and teamwork going down. They are kind of getting stuck on that, the edge of that cove on the beach. But besides that, they are stringing in quite nicely. Oh, apologies for that. Decent amount of destroyers over here raining fire down from their guns. Ah! Apologies. Unfortunately for Team 1, it looks like there's enough forces to just push through and go straight for these factories. This T2 naval headquarters, 2 of them are going to go down. Both of them are Seraphim, so no difference in tech there. But the engineers are fleeing to the shield of these fusion reactors, power generators. We have some transports out assisting. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe just for their guns, maybe? I don't know exactly. There are some guns on board those gunships, but they're not very effective. All of the Naval factories are being taken out. This destroyer probably should be primaried a little bit more, but it is going to go down nonetheless. And that factory does go down as well. So both T2 factories are down. Both the HQs are down. So no more T2 production for the players in this cove. A lot of the frigates are starting to whittle out, and more of these destroyers are coming in to help assist. So this push will eventually be taken out. Are they going to get some more economic damage down going after this T3 Master Extractor? That'd be a really good thing to grab before they are overwhelmed. All these frigates starting to stack up, forming a nice little star. T1 factory starting to be spammed out, but they are being taken down quite quickly. While this is going on, we have another naval engage going down on the northern section of the map, forcing the units of Cascade to focus more on repelling this threat than repelling this threat. So splitting up the enemy focus is obviously a good move to make. But it looks like pretty much all of the frigate spam has been taken out, and the destroyers are left to battle one another. Team 2, but those forces do move back. There are more destroyers here, as well as some frigates to soak up some shots. Kind of interesting to see why they didn't go around and take out this secondary base over here. But maybe there's a strategy and thought process that I'm not aware of. On the bright side, you have a lot of reclaim now. Yeah, that is the benefit of all of this reclaim. Look at that. Probably got about, I got 11,000, 5,000, probably like, I'd say 30,000 roughly. So a nice decent chunk. And these destroyers were able to take out at least one mass extractor, and most likely we'll get the second one. But it'll be close though. I think that mass extractor, yep, it will go down. So that is definitely disappointing. Ooh, if they can get that upgrade right before it finishes, that would be great for Team 2. And it does! Wow! So pretty much 3 T3 extractors do go down for the blue player of Judah X. Naval buildup starting to be more prevalent here in the north. We don't have T3 under construction as of yet. We do have T3 land achieved for Psy, but I don't see any Navy as of yet. RAS upgrade going down for Cascade as well, getting some more resources available to him. I lost my train of thought there for a second as I was talking. T3 air has been achieved for the red player of Babel, as well as the comm of T1000, and I'm assuming, nope, that would be wrong. So 2 T3 factories have been achieved. We do have T3 naval on the way and finished for the likes of the Crimson player of Will-O-Wisp. And he's electing to go for a aircraft carrier, I think. Yeah, it looks like an aircraft carrier to me. Get that good anti-air going. That'll help support his position here in the southern section of the map. Blue player of Cascade has pushed his forces down to help support this center line. A lot of T2 in that mix. Kind of dangerous for Team 2 to fight against. We do have the land invasion. Or counter. Well, no, it's just land securing, I guess. Not it looked like an invasion of Team 2, but it was not. ASFs starting to be produced en masse from multiple players. We have obviously the T3 of Budweiser, as well as the T3 of Psy. He's managing some Navy, but mainly air. He does have a strat bomber in the back, waiting to be deployed. Waiting to have similar success as Budweiser. Don't see T3 air. This would be a good position for T3 air, kind of nestled between these two mountainsides. I guess mountain and hill. Air factories going down, air grid going up nice and quickly for Team 2. That aircraft carrier has, I'm assuming, has been completed. It has. Look at that thing. Just it reminds me of, if you know Star Wars, you know the Venators from the Clone Wars. Like they took the hangar bay on the top and just stretched it all the way across. I do like the design of that aircraft carrier, but I think my favorite naval unit is probably the Atlantis from the UEF, just submersible sub as well as aircraft carrier factory. That thing is vicious in the water. Maybe we'll see it this game. I did make sure it ran. There is a desync fairly, like, kind of close to the end. It doesn't really affect the game. You'll see it at the end. I also wanted to make, even though there is a desync, I wanted to showcase the map as well. Get a good variety on the channel. Because I don't always recognize the new maps that come out as well as the ones available, and it's always good to see different maps and different strategies for the game, because the more you know, the more you can prepare for. Host of T1 and T2 Navy pressuring the likes of Noob Dragoon. His forces are moving in to intercept and prevent a possible run-by, but it looks like they're just going to clear up this kind of cove, island, whatever the heck that is over there. Torpedo bombers in tow just in case there is a run-by. We have some T3 submarine hunters from the white player of Marishko. I don't know if he'll switch up to battleship production. Looks like he will at some point, but he's focusing on sub hunters as we speak. We'll most likely see some strategic submarines be deployed relatively soon. We're at the 25-minute mark. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a nuke under construction from someone. I mean, it is a 6v6, so the likelihood of someone doing it is very high. Naval battle going down here in the northwest section. Frigates are making a cutting move straight through the forces of Team 1. The destroyers are taking a beating, and there are definitely more destroyers out from Cascade. These naval factories are definitely under a lot of pressure. We do have more forces out from the gray player of OGW, and that will definitely secure this northern side for Team 1. And the last of those destroyers are taken out, and then there's just, you know, monkeys in a barrel, very easy pickings for Team 1. Economy, it's been a little bit, I haven't actually checked on this game, and lots going on. Pretty even in the generated eco game. However, Team 1 has collected more than 150, not 50, almost 150,000 more mass. You know, a lot of that came from over here in that earlier battle, of course. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some experimentals on the field pretty soon. Or just following in a bunch of battleships. You know? Who knows? Oh, to point out, there are 3 Seraphim and 3 Cyberns for Team 1. And there are a UEF, 3 Aeon, and 2 Seraphim for Team 2. So, we have some Mazer opportunity as well as some Scathus and experimental nuke silos for Team 1, and nuke silos and possible satellite spam for Team 2. Just some late game things to think about. I think at about the 25-30 minute mark, you should start thinking about, okay, how are we going to end the game? What's our Bane strategy? Should we be going for experimental rush? Should we be going for T3 artillery? What should be the game plan? Kind of get that as a team, have that conversation, or at least try to, because obviously not everyone's going to respond unless everyone's in a Discord call. So we have a drop of engineers coming for this juicy reclaim. Again, funneling that into the coffers of Team 1 and turning that into weapons of mass destruction. Possibly. Or just a bunch of boats. That too. Mass being shared between players, probably going for upgrades or experimentals or the like. We do have the laser started, so like I mentioned before, that Mazer opportunity is on the cards. He is T3. He is getting that laser. All he needs is that teleporter. And he can start doing some sneaky stuff. Battleships from both teams starting to congregate in their respective sides of this middle section of the map. A lot more forces out from Team 1 though, so if they wanted to, they could just push through and probably crack that front line. We do have some engineers in tow for some reclaim. Do we have anything in the back in terms of some nuke silos or anything of the like? Still hasn't been reclaimed. Oh, it is currently. So, was gonna say, interesting design. Not going for a continuous design, but kind of a split, segmented out air grid, which is kind of smart because not all of it's gonna go down in like 3 shots from an artillery. Nothing in the back. I don't see anything. I don't see a whole lot. Those bricks that we saw are doing a decent amount of economic damage, but pretty much decapitating the options of the yellow player of Dragoon. But his teammate is coming in to support with some gunships, so that's not going to last super long. Team 1 has been able to push back the center line of Team 2. However, they are forming into that small kill box. Gap of Rohan, again, good example of a map that has a very distinct kill box, and you do not want to sit in it for a very long time because, again, it's a kill box. Not a whole lot of aggression coming out from Team 2, and as you can see, Team 1's like, oh, well, if you're not going to push, then we're going to push. Good complement of units. Unfortunately, they don't have the UEF tech, so no shield boats. They do have the cruisers from the Seraphim, so we're going to get those missiles. Those are very deadly against structures and stationary units. No strats. The strat could easily come in and start taking out this infrastructure. Pretty much for both sides. I mean, we have some air scouts kind of hanging out, but I mean, our players not electing to do massive hit and run operations, mainly just taking a hammer and just smashing the front line. Which is, a valid strategy. Combined forces of Team 1 starting to get more and more into the land area of Team 2. The Galaxy class battleship starting to be priority down by their opposing Aeon enemies, but just a bunch of units starting to swarm in. Using this T2 land spam as a way to soak up hits is a very good move for Team 2, allowing for these battleships to stay online a little longer. We do have a Tempest under construction. That's coming pretty quickly. These ASAC is not really helping with that, but SMD, is it loaded? It is loaded, so got nuke defense here in the middle, covering a decent section of Team 2's bases. Have they scouted a nuke on the opposite side? I mean, it is 30 minutes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a nuke at least built or something. Silo built. Or, sorry, defense silo built. No. So just both teams are like, we'll build an SMD just in case, but not focus on nukes. Focus on the naval section of the game. Just constantly shelling the forces of Team 2, constantly pushing them back. Apologies, I had to cough. Figured you guys wouldn't want to hear me cough in your eardrums. We have an Oswasher, my favorite air unit in the game, the experimental bomber. This is going to tear a nice hole in the forces of Team 1, depending on where it lands. Bomb is dropped, makes the turn. Boom, takes out the rest of those frigates. Could have seen that go a little bit farther forward to kind of go for more of these destroyers. They were doing a decent amount of damage on their own, just because of the sheer volume of those shots coming out. But like I said, T2 land, starting to be more of a distraction. You can see all these shots coming in. Another bomb ready to go, being dropped. Does about half health against these battleships. It's weird sometimes when it doesn't show like the AoE kind of star effect. They are keeping that very well protected. I'm surprised Team 1 doesn't have a response to that. They do have some ASFs in the back, but Sign not electing to push them in because he knows if he does, he'll lose them, and that'll be total air control for Team 2. We have Operation Overlord in the form of the Normandy landing coming down from Team 1, ready to invade the enemy territory and take everything out from a land perspective. Another bomb coming down. Oh, just give it a second. Hold on. Oh, that's going to be a beautiful bomb. Takes out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 10 or so destroyers. That's a huge bomb. That still doesn't give it a rank in vet, but it is very close. About 22.5 out of 24 for first vet, which will allow it to regen even quicker. And this might put it over the edge. Going for the rest of these frigates. And a direct hit against this Galaxy class battleship. Yep, first rank in vet. Look at that. Tempest has been completed. Long range T4 battleship for the Aeon, able to push back against these Galaxy class as well as some gunships in tow to help with the damage. Dropping those bombs again. Man, this Oswasher getting a bunch of usage. Does take out that battleship that was heavily damaged. Team 1 noticing the push coming out from Team 2, starting to pull back. They don't want all of this mass to sit and have Team 2 get it into their grubby coffers. I would like to see some more engineers come out. That we are seeing RASCOMs, we are seeing some Team 1 engineers starting to spam up Myrmidons, taking out the air units from Team 2. I mean, a couple Myrmidons aren't going to be a whole lot. They will take out these gunships, though. Still very healthy, pretty much at 90%. It's probably going to go in for at least another attack. I would go for this group right here, get this nice AoE shot. Kind of following where this shot from the Tempest goes. Yeah, it's going straight for that. Look at that. Boom! Takes out all of the supporting engineers as well as doing AoE damage to the rest of these battleships. Doesn't kill the RASCOM because it's super underwater, but it does have an AoE effect. It's about halfway to its next rank in vet. I would not be surprised to see it get to 2 at least. Nice unfortunate grouping for Team 1. And that bomb coming in will take out another 8 destroyers. Huge value coming out of this bomber. And that just goes to show you that if you're able to use your units effectively, they can provide a lot of dividends. That land invasion, Operation Overlord in place, starting to take out the base of Dragoon. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being killed in this land incursion. You could send the bomber out to just take out these factories very quickly, but I think this center naval incursion is definitely the main issue here. Torpedo bombers being used, starting to encourage Team 1 to move their ASF closer and closer. We do have a run-by in the form of naval units going down for Team 1, taking out these backline factories as well as the rest of the mechs here on the southeast side. But we have some torpedo bombers in tow to help dissuade those enemy forces. We do have the ASF coming in to take out that bomber. It goes down to half health. It gets down into the yellow and then the red, but Team 2 is able to take out all of the enemy ASFs, and that bomber will live to fight another day, even though it's in the red. Unfortunately, if enough cruisers come online, it really won't matter, and that'll be taken out anyway, so they might just go back to base and control Kant, build another one, or use it for something else, and they might just use it for that land game here in the northwest section, or just park it here, you know, completely disregard what I just said, you know, just ignore me. Players can't heal me. I'm just talking to a screen, and to you guys that are hearing me after I'm talking. It's like I'm talking to the future, which is weird to think about. Anyway, you've made it through the insane ramblings of a caster. I do appreciate that, and if you've been liking the video so far, please like and comment down below. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I greatly appreciate it. The growth I've been seeing on the channel, it just motivates me to do more and more of these casts, make them better. I have that mic that I've been mentioning. Should be arriving tomorrow, so hopefully the audio quality will improve greatly. If not, you can roast me in the comments down below. Battleships coming online for the white player of Moresco. And that bomber doing even more work. I mean, at 62,000 mass killed, that's pretty rare for an ass washer. Usually, it's killed by this point in most games, but since it's a 20x20 and it's a lot of Navy, not a lot of anti-air, we are starting to see that be more prolific, but not a huge concern. No players killed. 38 minutes. That's kind of rare, especially for a game like this. The mass differential is starting to be a problem for Team 2. 300 mass generated more per second, or per tick. I think it's per tick. Anyway. And the generated and collected mass in totals is reaching 250,000 more in terms of Team 1, but Team 1 is sending a bunch of mass in, and there's 3 Tempests, and there's a couple battleships. We have that Ostwasher in tow, we have another battleship over here, more battleships over here. Wouldn't like to see these forces kind of move in and cut off enemy reinforcements, but there are more battleships in tow. These Myrmidons are starting to be a problem for the air units of Team 2, however. Well, look at all those shots coming down. I mean, just look at it. Like, all of that firepower going on one battleship, taking out the first experimental out from Team 2. They got 2 more to chew through, but there's a lot of battleships right here. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I'd say 11 or 12 online. That's a lot. 11 online. It is a lot to really to get through. Bomber coming in. Let's see how much it ends up taking out. Takes out 1, 2, 3 of them, plus heavily damaging 3 more, 4 more actually. That one's on 180 hit points. Sir, how are you alive? You should be dead, but apparently you're not. So I would back you up. Never, forget that. Never mind. Anyway. Huge air wings for Team 2. Just Team 1 just not having the air game. But I see something else on the horizon. Looks like T3 already has been completed for Team 1. And it's going for a Scathus. That is a interesting development for Team 1. Hopefully Team 2 is scouting, because they definitely should know about that, because that's dangerous. T1 already under construction, question mark. Never mind, maybe they elected to do a Scathus. I would like to see the players of Team... Well, I guess they're saying go after the comm. Will-O-Wisp does notice the arty, so that's at least good that intel is starting to be more of a priority for Team 2. We have a Galactic Colossus online to use its laser against these naval forces. Unfortunately, it needs to have its head exposed to use it. So as long as it stays on the beach or in these kind of shallower waters, it can deal a lot of damage. Those battleships have pretty much been cleared out. And again, all that mass, just so much mass, 22,000 right there, 5,000, 5,000. So much mass. Operation Overlord has failed in the north. It was a nice distraction, but doesn't look like it got a whole lot of work done for Team 1. Buttons has completed an experimental. I'm assuming it's a Galactic Colossus, but it also could be a Tempest. And never mind, it's a Tempest. It's Aeon. You never know. That's a Tsar. They always look so weird when they're almost built. Like, obviously they're a donut, and they're all silvery and shiny when they're being built. They look like Tempest for a second. Game starting to kind of slow down a little bit, but not a huge problem as of right now. More battleships, more mass. Again, Team 1 is doing a better job of bringing in engineers to scoop... Oh! Apologies for that. Click the wrong button. Bringing in engineers in to clean up this mass. But this cove over here, this kind of entryway into the base of Team 2. There's that desync I was mentioning. Judah X does control K. Excuse me, I apologize for that. But again, like I said, this game very close, even with the desyncs. And if you're not familiar with desyncs, all they mean is that there is a possibility that players will experience different things because it's not, again, a desync means it's not synchronized. So things could be built or launched or destroyed at slightly different times, and that could affect the game. So there could be an instance where both teams win from their perspective. Oswasher coming in, just all those hit points being shredded by all that AA. But it is 5 vet, 126,000 mass. That's almost 3/4 of a Paragon. Like, that's just so much mass that's been killed by that thing. That's just more and more mass being funneled. Which is just mainly a distraction, honestly, for their teammates to get up this Scathus as well. Oh, they killed that artillery. That's... Maybe they didn't? They control K'd it and funneling it into the Scathus? I don't know. That's... Never seen that before. It's really weird. Scathus not really built. I don't know what's going on over there. We do have a nuke launcher, so that's a thing. Anyway, kind of a stalemate in the middle for now, so we're going to check on the bases in the back. Mass fab farms going down. Lots of mass fab farms going down. We have a Yolana Oz experimental missile launcher. This was almost built in a previous cast that I had, but it was destroyed before it was made, so we never actually got to see it launch. Anything else going down? Huge air grid. We do have this, though. It is almost done. Look at this thing. This thing is a beauty. And the nuke it launches is very pretty. Nothing really else going down. That thing is still alive, surprisingly. This center line has been pushed back. The kill box is returning to its normal position. Instead of being over here, it's now over here. Look at all those simulated projectiles. It's just so many projectiles. Look at it. All those missiles. They need, like, anti-missile defense. Like, T2 missile defense. Tactical missile defense. Wow, I cannot talk. Exactly, tele-defense, but different type of defense. Team 1 unit is starting to bleed into this eastern section. They do have a land game going down. That Czar was renamed to Macy 2.0. That is the thing you can do. You can name units in this game. Anyway, I question that choice. But anyway, we do have another experimental built for Team 2. I just can't find it. Let's see. Am I blind? I could just be blind. Oh, look, there's the Atlantis, like I was talking about earlier. Lots of experimentals being featured in this game. Again, very pretty unit, very useful unit. Oh, that Scathus has been completed, and it is watering the enemy. Oh, their enemy of Team 2. Will that Yolana Os be able to inflict mass casualties? We will see. That nuke is loaded. We are going to hopefully track that launch. And it does launch. Look at that thing just launching into the stratosphere. Let me scroll back a little bit. The interesting thing about these nukes is the fact that they take 2 SMD to be destroyed. So if you do not have 2 SMD loaded, only have the 1, it will still land as it flies over all of this allied and enemy units. Let's see, can I turn off? I can turn those off. Okay. So coming in to land. See, where is this going? It is still going for the backfield, probably going for the air base of Team 1 somewhere, probably. Oh, oh, it gets shot down, but it does launch another one. We'll turn the icons back on and go back to observer mode. I just wanted to track it to see if it would land. And does not, but the Scathis has now noticed the Yolana Os and has decided, yeah, that's not going to exist anymore, so I'm just going to water your base now. You do have the one in the back line, though, so if that one somehow gets destroyed, Team 2 has a backup, or at least the start of a backup. Team 2 has finally forced Team 1 out of this main center line. That's another nuke, so like even before the first nuke lands, it is able to launch another one. Just massive spamming of nukes. Boom! And as you can see, all the civvies start to run away. It's an interesting because it doesn't kill everything all at once. It kind of spreads out, and then you can kind of see it like does like secondary damage as well. Look at look at the exodus of these SACs. Man, Team 1 needs them SMDs, or this is not going to be a enjoyable time for them. Naval games kind of died because more resources are being funneled into SMDs. This is probably going to get shot down. Yep. Let's say they haven't been attacked yet. See, we got 1, 2, 4. We got 4 SMD loaded. That's a strap bomber. We do have a nuke almost completed for the likes of him. We get a Control K. Apologize, I missed it. We have some incoming forces from Team 1, and looks like he just succumbed to torpedoes and the like. But like I said, hey, look, that expanded bunta bomber could be easily deployed over here. It's just not being, because the APM is being focused on this Yolana Os. Another nuke has been completed, ready to be launched. As I speak, it does get launched. Babel does release, or start to command his Atlantis to push forward. Should have been used a while back, but anyway, I guess that's the first one in the mid. Again, that nuke definitely throws everything off. More fire from this Scathis. Let's watch it spin its rotary cannons. So many shots. Just so many artillery shots. Just insane. Nuke coming into land against the likes of OGW as it going to land. No SMD loaded. We got it 3 loaded, so this is going to survive the first wave of nukes, but I don't think, and they already know it. They're like, yeah, we're out. See ya, bye. The former base of Cascade is starting to be built back up. Another nuke inbound. More Tempest. Battleship's gonna get pushed forward again. So constant bob and weave, constant ebb and flow of this center section of the map. The Team 2 is definitely getting hemmed in. We have some like land invasion over here. We have more battleships over here. Team 1 is definitely looking to have the majority of the map control, probably operating at about 65, close to 75. That nuke does land. Let's go look at that pretty explosion. What I like about it is it lands and then it takes a second for it to initially activate. It's just so pretty to watch. And then it's kind of like a flower with its like arcing explosive power. Like all of those engineers, like we're gone. See you bye. I'm not a Gap player. There's some conversation in chat. I do apologize for missing. Gonna load. I guess they're looking to make sure that these SMD do not load. Another nuke. Oh, another nuke has been activated and launched. I guess killing the reclaim, it probably just was an auto launch. So it probably wasn't like super microed. Look how fast it builds these things. It's killed 246,000 mass, so just a ton of mass. All these engineers are like, I want to help build, I want to help build, but they can't move because everyone's in the way. Look how fast it just builds another one. It's just insane. And you can watch it kind of rise out of the depths. Unlike the other nuke launches where it builds it in the ground and then it releases it. This one, it like builds it coming up and then it launches from this stationary platform. And then now it's completed. And then it looks like it's going to fire once more. There it goes. Auto building another one. It's just insane. That watering can, that scath is still doing some work. Ah, there you go. Audio issues. Oh, it looks like it was able to hit the comm of Team 1000. That is a huge blow to Team 2, losing more APM. It's still going for this. I don't know why. Is it just on an auto command or something? I have no idea. I don't know why they keep getting launched in the same place. Scath is still perfectly fine. SMD loaded. For over here as well as over here in the north, so not a huge issue. Scathis, secondary Scathis being built for the Team 1 in the northern section. It's like some mass extract and mass fabricators being transferred over to other players. Ping's going down for some reason. Yes. Ooh, is this gonna go down? It does have a nuke. Come on, notice. Okay, Dragoon has been defeated. Looks like he just leaves. Doesn't look like he's under any fire, so he's saying, I'm out, see ya, bye. I'm not tracking anything, so I don't know why it's saying that. Ooh, that shield does buckle. I don't know if that shield doesn't come back online. Oh, got another one come online. Launch the nuke! Come on, buttons, launch the nuke. You're in 1800. Come on, launch the nuke. You got the APM. At least I would hope so. It is subcom brain at this point, but still. Man, those shots are... A lot of those are missing, and the center section of this base still active. I'm surprised, I really am, that it's still alive and well. We got some destroyers moving into this center manufacturing section for Team 2. Starting to lose more and more ground. We got the ass washer doing work over there. He needs to launch this nuke. He just needs to launch it. Because if it dies, that might just be game. Mass being transferred between different players in chat. Probably helping build SMD or Scathis or something. More of that air grid goes down. It's not even being built anymore. This isn't being focused, unfortunately. It is sad when you can see players that have a huge advantage or have a nuke or have something that they could use and they just don't. They're just not seeing it. It sucks as a caster being like, oh, you have something, you can use it, go for it. I guess it looks like Babel sent his units over to Buttons, and Babel's like, yeah, I'm out, see ya, bye. Kind of done with this match kind of thing. He's kind of noticed he's kind of on the way out. Shield is down. One more shield is still active. Air grid pretty much non-existent. Do those next shots land? No, they changed targets. They could have taken out that Yolanda Oss. Oh, that sucks. I guess Cascade. Everyone says GG. And it looks like Marisesco as well as Buttons end up leaving the match. That is the end of the game, with Team 1 ending up winning. This is, I think, the most disappointing thing. Just having a nuke, especially a Yolana Os, and not using it. It just is very disappointing. Team 2 did have a comeback on the cards. Just, I think a lot of subcom brain kind of set in, as well as just not focusing on the right things. There was an Ass Washer constructed in the backline for Team 1. A secondary Scathus was almost built. And this one was almost built. So, I mean, I'd say it's pretty even in terms of experimentals and possible wins, but I just think Team 2 just kind of got tired of playing, and that's kind of sad to see. But, I mean, who knows? You had to go to bed, maybe? I don't know. And again, I appreciate everybody watching the video. I greatly appreciate all of the support, the likes, the comments, those that subscribe. For those that don't, I encourage you to please subscribe. I'm trying to put out a cast roughly every single day. Try to get better with everyone, and all of your support does help me kind of fine-tune all the different aspects of recording and uploading videos and all of that jazz that goes along with being a YouTuber. Again, I appreciate all the support, and I will see you all in the next one.